morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, or whatever time it is when you watch this video. So, hello to you all and hello Vinindita, my lecturer in this subject, English for a specific purpose. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Hizkia Pilar Tiarso. You all can call me Hizkia. I am 19 years old. I am currently studying in the University of Yogyakarta, taking a degree in informatics. So, why I make this video? I make this video for English for specific purpose final project, which require myself to talk in English for 15 minutes straight. 15 minutes straight. Everyone has been given a topic to present it on a vlog kind of video. Luckily I got the number 35, which allow me to pick a topic number from the list of topic that our lecturer has given us. So I picked the topic number 25. You can see it on the screen below this. I will add this to the video. So Sophia got her citizenship from the Saudi Arabian government. Do you think Sophia deserves to get a citizenship like real human beings? Is it fair that Sophia has the same rights as human? Why so? How do you think the Saudi Arabian woman feels about Sophia? Do you agree with them? Why so? Do you think the Indonesian government needs to adopt an AI robot like Sophia? Explain and give examples. That's it, my topic that I will talk about in this video. But before I continue to discuss it even further, let me first say thank you to anyone that has helped me in making this project happen. So I had already recorded the video, but the audio was missing, so I had to retake it in this condition. Even though I'm not using their equipment for this video, I still want to say thank you to Hizkia who lent me his camera to record the earlier video, and last but not least, thanks to Jati who lent me his tripod to record the earlier video too. So without further ado, let's start again. As you may already know, Sophia was granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia. Sophia became the first robot to receive citizenship anywhere in the world. Many people were outraged. Some were upset because she now had more rights than a literal woman living in the same country. Personally, I think the Saudi Arabian grant of citizenship to a robot is simply a joke and not a good one. Do I think Sophia deserves to get a citizenship like real human beings? No. Robots are machines, more similar to a car or a toaster than to a human or to any other biological beings. Is it fair that Sophia has the same rights like human? I don't believe that there is any plausible case for the yes answer. Certainly not at the current time in history. Humans and other living sentient beings deserve rights. Robots don't. Not only because of how they look, but also how they grew up in the world as social beings immersed in the culture, perceive the world, feel, react, remember, learn, and think. There is no indication in science that we will achieve such a state anytime soon, and it may never happen due to inherently different nature of what robots are. They are machines, and what we are sentient living biological creatures. How do I think the Saudi Arabian women feel about Sophia? I think the Saudi Arabian women feel upset and sad, which I can completely understand it and agree with them on this matter. While the citizenship grant is great for Sophia, the news has sparked much criticism, with many people pointing out that Sophia has quickly gained more rights than millions of women in Saudi Arabia. People in Saudi Arabia quickly reacted with the Arabic hashtag like this, which translates to hashtag Sophia demands the repeal of guardianship. Like some of these tweets that you can see in the screen by at 07_FY. I want to become Sophia one day and get my rights. Or this one by @moonshiner99. Sophie, since you became Saudi now, you are not allowed to walk in public without your hijab and of course, abaya too. Or by at Ain underscore Imakumbili. The only type of woman Saudi Arabia give full rights to is a robot one and a foreigner at that. Let us sing in. For one, Saudi Arabia is one of a few Muslim majority countries that legally imposes a dress code. Women are required to wear a headscarf and an abaya, a garment that covers a woman from top down to her ankles. Sophia, in many occasions during her speech on the stage, was not dressed in either, nor was she accompanied by a male companion. Under the Saudi guardianship system, every woman must have a male companion with her in public, usually a close family member who has authority to act on her behalf. It's only just in the year of 2017 women in Saudi Arabia were granted the right to drive alone in what is perhaps one of the most significant milestones in recent times for the women in the country. Before the ruling was passed, they needed permission from a legal guardian to get a license, and needed a guardian in the car when they drove. However, Saudi women are still left behind in many areas. Saudi women cannot perform various activities including getting married, obtaining a passport, and traveling without the consent of their legal guardian. Legal guardians are typically a brother, father, uncle, or a husband. Sophia may be the only robot citizen to date, but she is not entirely alone. In November 2017, Tokyo created a chatbot official resident status in Shibuya ward of the city. Similarly, the European Parliament is considering the possibility of declaring some robots as an electronic persons. Sophia's citizenship represents the latest move in the growing trend to personify our robotic counterparts, a movement that can have profound consequences for the rest of humanity. Naming Sophia a citizen creates a huge void in legal systems around the world, damages public understanding of AI, and fundamentally damages the very notion of human rights itself. The Gulf nations, the Gulf nations' action were nothing short of a cheap, albeit highly effective, publicity stunt. The event was designed to coincide with the future investment initiative in Riyadh, and symbolized that the state's economic future would be more than just oil. At a time when AI and robotics are playing ever greater roles in society, nuanced and accurate policies are needed to ensure harmful biases are not propagated and cemented. The many reported instances of AI displaying racism and sexism are enough to show this to be a truly pressing concern. Naming Sophia as citizen actively fits into a false and overhyped portrayal of the current state of AI and robotics, which will turn facilitate ineffective and harmful policies. While Sophia may be a relatively advanced and realistic robot, she is still situated deep with the uncanny valley, representing our preconceived idea of how an advanced robot should look and act. Her realistic appearance and expression can probably be put down to her creator's prior experience as a Walt Disney Imagineer, where he worked on the company's animatronics. So why don't we just give every Mickey Mouse robot in their theme park citizenship while we're at it? It makes us about as much a sense giving it to Sophia does. If Sophia is named a citizen, then it naturally follows that she is awarded and afforded certain rights that must be respected. As a charter of rights for robots has yet to be established, it is only fair to assume that these rights are the same as her fellow Saudi citizens and of humans more generally around the world. With this in mind, Sophia has a right to self-determination. a right to be free from slavery, and many others. I presume that Sophia is not paid for the work she undertakes on behalf of Hanson Robotics, the Hong Kong-based company that created her, nor has she consented to the untold number of, of modifications that will have been conducted on her, both physically and mentally. What would we do if Sophia committed a crime, or wanted to get married, or somehow applied for asylum in another country? The whole thing has been poorly thought through. Sophia is effectively nothing more than a slave elevated to celebrity. David Hanson, the CEO of Hanson Robotics, disagrees to this matter. She is basically alive, he says. Sophia may be relatively advanced, but her intelligence is still limited and responses scripted. She's a long way off cutting-edge work coming out of leading laboratories in the field. And even these humanics hybrids will not come close to qualifying for citizenship by other standards. For example, it is unlikely that Sophia would pass the living in the UK test required to settle in Britain, for example, especially when a third of Brits reportedly fail despite being both human and British. Similarly, the US requires naturalizing immigrants to answer a plethora of obscure questions about US history and society. Given her digital nature, it's also unclear whether Sophia could ever truly meet the residency requirements many aspirant citizens must meet. It's obviously bullshit, says Joanna Bryson, an AI and ethics researcher at the University of Bath, speaking to The Verge. What is this about? It's about having a supposed equal you can turn on and off, she says. So, do I think the Indonesian government needs to adopt an AI robot like Sophia? In the future, yes, I agree 100% with this idea. But for the future, in the current situation, especially with the COVID-19 happening all around the world, the global pandemic, we still have so many things other than developing an AI robot to focus on. So I, so I don't think present, in the current situation that we need to adopt an AI robot like Sophia. But for the future, I 100% agree with it. My conclusion is that I don't think that robots should be given the same rights as humans, despite their ability to emulate, even exceed many human capacities. Robots do not, at least for now, appear to have the qualities we associate with sentient life. Sophia, being a citizen, represents something more sinister. Nobody is treating or acting like Sophia is a real citizen. We all see through the publicity stunt. But that's where the real harm lies. If we can switch off our compassion and thoughts for fellow citizens, just as we do for Sophia, we might get in the habit of doing it to other humans. To be a citizen means something, and that something means less now that it includes Sophia. There may be a time in the future when technology has advanced so greatly that we need to consider whether robots and AI ought to be granted citizenship. But today is clearly not that day. If we start insisting that robots have the same rights as people, it will make it that little bit easier to justify the inhumanity we commit against our fellow humans. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you didn't skip most of my video. So until next time, see you.
후다 boy 수많은 사람 속 눈에 띈 무심한 그 표정 I like that 내 호기심을 자극하지